Device is called a switch, capable of switching a semi-automatic handgun to a fully automatic. They're cheap to buy, can be made with a 3D printer or even ordered online, and are now being recovered at shooting scenes across southeast Wisconsin. A federal agent quickly loads a 30-round Glock magazine, but it's how quickly he unloads it that's making shootings more dangerous across southeast Wisconsin.
So when they have extended mag plus that switch, shoot a lot of bullets really fast.
In a little more than 1 second, he fires 30 rounds through this Glock pistol.
Any bullet in the air is dangerous. 100 bullets in the air at one time in a matter of seconds is extremely dangerous.
Milwaukee police are recovering roughly double the number of automatic guns each year. Numbers obtained by 12 News Investigates show MPD recovered 64 automatic guns so far this year, compared to 65 in all of last year. The majority of them, guns with switches.
If you go a couple years back, it is essentially zero.
At the federal level,
Glock switches, from rarely seeing those recovered at all on a crime scene to that number pretty much doubling every year.
Aaron Wheeler is the assistant special agent in charge for the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Firearms Great Lakes Division. He explains what they look like and the ease of the flip of a switch.
There's two different kind of switches here. So this one, you would just slide that over from left to right to go from like semi-automatic to fully automatic. And then this one, it's going to be a switch you turn.
The device overrides the trigger bar inside that pistol. The difference, one trigger pull per round compared to as many as this extended 30-round magazine holds. A typical Glock magazine, anywhere from 10 to 15 rounds, but police are seeing extended magazines as large as 100 rounds attached to switched guns. A federal charge for having a switch carries a prison sentence of up to 10 years.
One of the greatest demographic rises in homicides is, with young people. We have kids killing kids right now.
Kids killing kids, but now with automatic weapons.
Semi and now fully automatic weapons, that's right.
Milwaukee County District Attorney John Chisholm's office prosecuted one automatic firearm case in 2019. So far in 2023, they've tried 46.
The presence of these firearms just increases the lethality to the officers investigating it and to the community at whole.
It rises to a whole new level of crime, is what you're saying.
It just does. It's too cheap, it's too easy, and it's too accessible right now.
Video from a gas station shootout on Milwaukee's northwest side shows what appears to be a shooting with multiple guns with switches.
A large amount of muzzle flashes in a 2-second span that appears to be faster than someone could pull the trigger physically is consistent with what would be a switched or machine gun converted firearm.
Though police would not directly say if these guns had them. Warrants in Milwaukee County this year show police have recovered them after chases in a kid's bedroom and people flaunting having them on social media. In Wisconsin, having one is a Class H felony punishable by up to 6 years in prison. But the DA thinks the punishment should be harsher.
A consideration in Madison, perhaps.
Absolutely.
For now, state and federal prosecutors say they'll use the tools they have to prosecute the growing number of cases.
You will face serious consequences if you're found in possession of one of these weapons.
If a pistol has a 10-round magazine or 15-round magazine, someone might shoot that and they might shoot a couple rounds off and drive off. That's what I saw earlier in my career. But now we're seeing, and first responders are responding to these scenes, they're finding 30 or 40 shell casings on the ground.
30 to 40 bullets leading to deadly situations in a matter of seconds. And if having 30 to 40 or more rounds in a shooting isn't dangerous enough, every person that we talked to said a gun with a switch incredibly difficult to control. That means those 30 to 40 rounds now moving quicker and more indiscriminately with the use of a switch on the back of a gun.
And so many people reporting hearing what sounds like machine guns. This is why, James, where are they getting these switches?
They're incredibly, unfortunately, easy to find, illegal as well, either ordering them online, likely from China, or 3D printing them. We found them online with a quick Google search for as little as $90.
Adding to the frustration for law enforcement, James Stratton in the newsroom for us tonight.